Done it again, man. Done it again. I just do it just to try and wind you up. I do just do it just to try and wind you up. Good evening. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View again. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's live. It's not pre-recorded. It's what that makes the channel unique. Do you know? There's no use. Look, put it this way, right? There's no use me pretending that I'm a professional journalist, is there? And you couldn't get any further from the truth. So let's not pretend I'm some internet tech guru. Let's just get on with the Celtic news, shall we? I should really just do the intro at this bit, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's do that and start again. Good evening, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. The channel subscribing count does go up every single day. It is just a narrative number. It doesn't really mean anything, but it's good to have that number there and the knowledge that there's so many people appreciate what I do. And like I said, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a professional journalist, because I'm not. I'm just a guy that does YouTube. And yeah, they've done the poll. I've done a poll already. It's had 107 votes already. Who will Celtic try and offload first? Well, it will be Gustav Lagerbielke, who has taken to the internet. He has taken to the internet, to Instagram, and spoken. He doesn't speak a lot, Gustav Lagerbielke, but he's taken to Instagram and spoken. Nico Kuhn for £12 million. I think Celtic will need to drop the valuation that they want, 15 million, to offload Nico Kuhn. I think 12 million will probably be the price that Newcastle will pay. Will it be Kwon for £2 million? Will it be Lewis Palmer? Will it be Lewis Palmer for 3 million? Because they'll need to drop the 3.5 million that they want for him. These are all players that will come back to training tomorrow. Yes, these players will walk back through the door at Celtic Park. And will it be a happy camp? Because let's start off with Gustav Lagerbielke. Gustav, as a Celtic player, was told that he was surplus to requirements well over a year and a half ago, when he was told to find himself another club, and he did, an Italian club, and he thought he was going to live the dream. He thought he was going to get his move to Italy. He always said that when he was a boy, he wanted to dream about playing in Italian football, and Celtic had agreed a loan deal, but pulled the plug on it at the last minute, due to the fact that Cameron Carter-Vickers managed to get himself injured again. Yes, Cameron Carter-Vickers got injured again at the beginning of the season. At the Christmas time, and that pulled the plug on the move. Gustav Lagerbielke went on to play around about 2 games in the second half of the season, which would have disappointed him as a player, and it would have left him very frustrated with Brendan Rodgers. Hence the comment along the ticker here. Will it be a happy camp? First day back in training with Celtic tomorrow. And then you've got Nico Kuhn, who has had a strange time at Celtic. He came to Celtic having a bit of there seems to be an ongoing teeth thing on the channel in the last couple of days after the Rangers fan gets jailed because of his turkey teeth. He gets caught because of his turkey teeth. So it'll be interesting to see if Nico Kuhn, who also went through some dental treatment and lost some weight and lost about a stone when he first came to Celtic and struggled to regain fitness, and Brendan Rodgers says you'll see the best of him next season. And he did. And he got off to a fantastic start last season. In the Champions League, he was doing absolutely fine. He looked as if he was a player that was going to sweep the awards board. He was taking on players, he was creating lots of goals, he was scoring goals. He looked like a player that really was starting to live up to the hype that this guy could be a potential good player. And then it got to the Christmas time, and Celtic brought back Jota. And then we all know the story of Nico Kuhn. He was just, the arse fell out of him as a player. Let's not try and butter up any other way, and the arse completely fell out of him as a player, and he didn't turn up the second half of the season. Celtic would hope that he would have kicked on, so he would have got between 15 and 20 million pounds for Nico Kuhn, who at the time of when Jota returned to Celtic, Newcastle United were saying that they were looking at Nico Kuhn for around about 15 to 20 million pounds, and it was stated that 20 million pound would be enough to get the deal done and Nico Kuhn to head to Geordieland. But it's not going that well for him. It will be interesting to see when he returns. And then there's Kwon, who's been out at Hibs for his wisdom teeth grew back. Kaiser, wait a minute. Stop the bus. Stop everything. Everyone just pause for a second. I would like to congratulate Mr. Kaiser. I can't call him his real name. On the announcement of his impending wedding next year. Yes, the date has been set. The deed is done. So a big congratulations to Kaiser, who is, after 23 years together, he's decided to get married. Jesus. 23 years together, and he's just now getting married to her. What a poor lassie, having to put up with you for 23 years. Anyway, congratulations, mate, to you and the missus. And and of course, we shall be there. We shall be there. So yeah, congratulations to Kaiser on his impending marriage. Just give me your den. Fucking do a runner. Quick, don't just fucking shut the door and run. Run for the house, mate. You're not pregnant, are you, Kaiser? So yeah, that's just get that out of the road. Back to who we were talking about. We're talking about Nico Kuhn and Kwon. Kwon, who'd been on at Hibs for the last couple of years, he is getting some interest from a European club. So it'll be interesting to see how much ultimately we can get from him. And then there's Luis Palma, the enigma, who once, whilst playing for his international team Honduras, was the flavour. Yes, he had the flavour. He was the flavour of the moment. He was the player that they all admired, and he was fantastic until this summer. He's shite for his national team. So will Celtic manage to get the 3.5 million that they're looking for him? If they get that, all the money in total, you're bringing in around about 20 million. That gives Celtic a decent enough amount of money, considering we've already brought in money from previous sales. Do you know, it looks like we're going to go into the season and have not spent a lot of money once again, but that's the Celtic way. So the question was, which one of these players would be offloaded first? Now, when it comes to Celtic bringing in the cash, Matt O'Reilly looks like he's going to be on the move again, but he's determined this time. He's determined to go to a manager who spent quite a lot of time trying to get him from Celtic, and it was the manager that was at Atalanta who is now at Roma. And it's been said that Matt O'Reilly has come out and said, look, I want to go to Roma. If I'm going anywhere, I'm going to Roma. Napoli have made noises about trying to get him, but he's eager to join Roma. You would be, though, Matt O'Reilly. You can understand if a manager has been after you for a while, unless it's a player that's connected to Celtic and come into Celtic. You could think of the Brøndby striker, even though Brendan Rodgers has been after him for about 3 years. He's still not going to come to Celtic, is he? And no matter what. So it's we all know the type of person that Matt O'Reilly is. He's quite a headstrong person. He likes to be in the Zen-like mode. He does have his mental health, his guru from India, who he sits and meditates with. And I've got to say, there's nothing better than a bit of meditation. It's good for the soul. Nice bit of meditation and just about an hour or so during the day. It's fantastic. Absolutely fun. It's brilliant for your mental health as well. Absolutely brilliant for your mental health. So Matt O'Reilly, he is into that, and knowing that this guy has been after him for a while, it'll be interesting to see if that deal does go through and Celtic get their 10%. Should just call Celtic 10%, innit? 10%. So yeah, I'm just going to read some of the comments since there's quite a lot of comments. A lot of people congratulating Kaiser on his impending marriage. There may be trouble ahead. Can't believe the value of Quan is 2 million. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Don't blame Matt about the way he's been treated. I don't think it's the way he's been treated. I think it's the fact that he was injured for a good half of the season. So yeah. I've got Rondon and Kennedy to have a shot on target in this Madrid game. I haven't even watching that. I never quite clicked on how much Matt Riley was. Yeah, he's right into it. He's right into his meditation and everything. Honestly, his Instagram's quite. It's interesting when he does go over to India. Do you know, he gets right in the zone. Does get right in the zone. Anyway, Kyogo has set tongues wagging. He looks as if he could be on his way out the door. There has obviously been suggestions that he may come to Celtic, but the striker himself has said to media back home that he enjoyed his time at Celtic, which is kind of played down any suggestions that he will come back. I don't think he will come back. The fact that Celtic have already brought in. Well, it hasn't been announced yet, has it? That we brought in Callum Odmondson, has it? Has it been officially announced? I can't remember. It's fucking been that long since it was announced. There was no. It hasn't been announced, has it? By Celtic officially. I don't fucking know. I'm starting to give up. We're only in June. We've got this to go until September. Anyway, the Japanese international looks as if he may be heading to Birmingham City. They lead the race, it says, but when talking about his time at Celtic to media back home, he said, "I'm proud to have played in that environment." That's slamming the door shut, isn't it? That's slamming the door shut. That's a no. I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there because I don't rate the league. Not that we would take him back. Oh, I need that. It's too hot. But with David Strelick still hinted that it might be on Celtic's itinerary. Celtic have all been on Shin Yamada. It's more likely that Celtic will go down that route due to the fact that it's only going to cost about $1.5 million. The 25-year-old refused to be drawn on speculation, and he said that right now I want to do my best for the next game. Just playing down speculation, as all players do, really. And there's another breaking news story, but it's the Sondre one, but I think Celtic have been priced out. We're getting. It's suggested that we've been. If they've bumped the price up to 11 million, I think Celtic are a bit reluctant to start going over the 10 million barrier again, because it then becomes harder unless they turn out to be a fantastic player. But the fact that we have got Benji in the door. As reported last night, it was reported by Fabrizio Romano last night, and a lot of Celtic media also following suit. Looks like we're going to have him announced tomorrow, so it's going to be an interesting week at Celtic. It's going to be an interesting week at Celtic to see exactly how many players that we do get in this week, and ultimately how many we get out, because Brendan Rodgers, with Gustav Lagerbielke, one of the players that's on this poll, Gustav Lagerbielke has taken to Instagram, and he doesn't talk too many times on Instagram, but this is an acknowledgement that he's not going to go back to FC20. From the first day that he arrived, he put on Instagram, "I felt at home." This is a bit of a dig, this one as well, and it's a bit of a "I'm sad to believe in you." and going back to Celtic post. Reading between the lines. Lagerbielke says on Instagram, for the first day arriving, he felt at home. Every day he drove to the training ground, he felt excitement. Every day I was around the team and the staff, I felt joy. Every day I put on the FC20 shirt, I felt proud. Every day I played in front of the support, I felt honoured. And today I feel grateful. Grateful for all you letting me be part of your family. Fuck. That's a bit of a slap in the puss to Brendan Rodgers, isn't it? You're now going to have a player going into pre-season training going, I fucking don't even like you, mate. You're a fucking dick. I mean, it is that brutal, isn't it? I mean, that's a... He never even... When you look through Gustav Lagerbielke's... He never put a post out like that before he came to Celtic. Do you know, he put a post out saying, oh, we're looking forward to the next game. And then his next Instagram post was... he put out this post... What a yesterday, fun to score this goal in front of the Elfensborg family. We will fill the arena on Sunday again. And then he never put another post up. After that, the next post he put up was said, so proud to have joined this amazing club. Can't wait to see you all at Paradise. Hail, hail at Celtic FC. He never said a goodbye to the club. He maybe done it on his stories, but he never done it in such a public manner. The fact that Gustav Lagerbielke's made this a public post, he's not put it on his Instagram stories. Now you've got to remember that Brendan Rodgers doesn't like players taken to social media. If we think back up to a winger that was at Celtic when Brendan Rodgers first came in, and he went public on his Instagram that he wasn't too happy with Brendan Rodgers, and Brendan Rodgers got rid of him quite quickly. Is this to force Celtic to, one, reduce what they want for Lagerbielke and allow him to move on? Or is it throwing the gauntlet down to Brendan Rodgers? He done quite well at FC20. You've got to remember, Gustav Lagerbielke is one of the only defenders to score a header in the Champions League for Celtic in the past couple of years. He scored from corners last season at his club. Headers. Something that we're not doing too well at the moment. So is it a case that he's thrown down the gauntlet to Brendan Rodgers and saying, I've proved that I'm a better player than you thought I was, and although they had the option to buy, and they never took it up. Now, there's a certain person in the comments says that he said months ago that he was coming back. I'll weigh him in because he still had the obligation to buy. The option to buy was only turned down towards the end of the season. So will it be a case that could I mean, there's a lot of people saying Lagerbielke, Rocky, buy. Could he do what Liam Scales did? Liam Scales was on his way out the door. He had his jacket on. He had his bags packed. He was almost going back to Aberdeen. And if it wasn't for injuries, Scales would have been at Aberdeen, and he probably would have been sold to Aberdeen. You've got to remember, was it Barry Robson that was manager at Aberdeen at the time? They wanted Scales. He wanted Scales back at Aberdeen. Could it be the fact that it could be the U-turn of all U-turns? Will Brendan Rodgers do a U-turn on Lagerbielke and Gustav? Laga, Gustav, Laga, Gustav. Will Brendan Rodgers do a U-turn, or will he go down the road of spending more money and bringing in a player that is untried in the league, untested in the league, but has the potential to maybe get better? Well, isn't that why we brought in Gustav Lagerbielke? It's going to be an interesting week, that's for sure. It is going to be an interesting week. When Rocky plays, he's not let us down. CCV and Scales and Trusty over the season. Rodgers seems to have a personal problem with Lager and Rocky. He does, doesn't he? But you've got to go back to that goal that he scored in the Champions League. Gustav scored a cracking header for us in the Champions. Well, this is my thinking behind it. And we spoke about it a bit this morning. We struggle, absolute struggle, to score goals from headers. Now, let's get this post. Can we get this live? Let me just see this. Let's see if we can get this live. And we'll get Gustav on the screen scoring goals with the head. Bugger off. Interact. Alright, let's see if we can get this. Into Windows mode. Let's do this. Gustav Lagerbielke from Instagram. This is the post that he's put up of him playing last season. I mean, these they're always made to look good, but I mean, there's a header. That's a good header. We've struggled. And here's another one. Right in the middle of the box. We've struggled with people scoring goals for headers. Do you know, he's done it at Champions League level for us. Is Brendan Rodgers getting it wrong with Gustav Lagerbielke? Is he missing something? Is he just not seeing, or is he seeing something that we're not? I mean, he's obviously seen him in training. But I just think that, do you know what, as a player, to score as many headers as he has, not scoring from headers at set pieces, come down to poor set pieces, says Lanky. Sleek, it says should be a ban on signing Irish players. I'm Irish and we only sign Irish crap. I'm not singing that song. Not a chance. Scales at Aberdeen, stop teasing. He looks a bit more stocky than before. Yeah, Aussie Online, he does. And maybe that's what he needed. He just needed to go to a club that would allow him to go in the gym, allow him to be happy. There's players that has happened to before at Celtic. There's many players that have went away and look at the young Irish guy, Johnny Kenny. When he went back to Ireland, he was a wee skinny toe rag. And you're like, he's never going to make it at Celtic. I mean, he's came back and he's beefed himself up. But they're still saying he's maybe a year away for being first team pick. That goal just cost us 2.2 million. Gary Caldwell was better player than Scales, Trusty and Lagerbielke, and Caldwell was utter shite. Yeah, but Caldwell couldn't have scored goals like Lagerbielke's done. Interesting though. Gustav might not want to come back. Well, he's going to have to come back because Lagerbielke's contract, Celtic gave him a long contract, didn't they? And he's contracted to Celtic for quite a while. I mean, we valued him at 3 million when we bought him. FC20, his valuation went up, and then they reckon it's came back down again. Now his contract ends in 2028, so he's still got 3 years left on his contract, which is a lengthy contract. Now he could play at both positions at centre back, but he's right-footed, and this is why Brendan Rodgers doesn't rate him, because we've got Cameron Carter-Vickers that plays on the right foot, and Cameron Carter-Vickers isn't going anywhere. Gustav Lagerbielke wants to play football. Brendan Rodgers won't play him on the left-sided defence because he wants a left footer. So it is going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Because he is far too... At £3 million, he's far too good to be sitting on the bench at Celtic, as the other players mentioned. And plus, it is... forget the headers, the job's defend, create from the back. Brendan Rodgers doesn't clearly rate him doing that. I think it doesn't even come down to that, mate. I think it comes down to the fact that he's a right footer, and Brendan Rodgers is trying to get balance in the team, and he wants a left-footed centre-back. And there lies the problem. There lies the issue that Gustav has. He's not going to make the first team due to the fact that he would be behind Cameron Carter-Vickers. And I don't think that he wants to be playing football at the end of the day. He looks like a wee guitar player. It's terrible nonsense. Banter's unbelievable. Anyway, see if there's any update on that. There's no update on anything else. I am going to go take a cold shower because it is absolutely fucking boiling. Where's the temperature? Still 29 degrees right now outside. Fucking hell. Anyway, I shall see you all tomorrow morning. Let's finish off the poll. It's had 266 votes. Who will Celtic try and offload first? Gustav Lagerbielke? Will it be the U-turn of all U-turns, Brendan Rodgers, by keeping a hold of Lagerbielke, considering he did achieve quite good things last season, even though the club decided not to take up the option to buy at £3 million. Will it be Nicholas Kuhn is wanted by Newcastle, even though that they have went through other players in their list, and it looks like that Kuhn could be a good option for them, between 12 and £15 million. Will it be Kwon? Will they get rid of Kwon first for £2 million? There's clubs looking at him. Will it be Lewis Palmer? There's 3-4 players, squad players, that don't really want to be at Celtic, and I'm going to put Nico Kuhn in that option also, that doesn't want to be at Celtic. If those players leave, you need to bring in replacements to make sure that the squad maintains the level that it was at last season. So that's another 4 players that we'll need to get in before the end of the transfer window if these 4 players do leave. 171 votes, the poll has ended. And Nico Kuhn looks like the fans think that he'll be the first to be sold. Anyway, on that note, it's been an absolutely fantastic Sunday evening. It's back down to business tomorrow. Back down to business for Celtic. Back down to players coming in to Lennoxtown. And it's all eyes on Brendan, isn't it? Really? Because Celtic fans will be listening to every single word that he says really, really closely this summer, because it could give us an indication whether, one, he is going to sign an extension to his contract. I just realised how bright that light was. If he's going to sign a contract extension himself, and if he'll be at Celtic after this season. With signing players on 5-year contracts is all fine, but at the end of the day, they want to know who they'll be playing for. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.